We need to go into executive session.
For the purposes of economic development, please.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Thanks, Holly.
All right, thank
very
you.
much.
Sam Norris, was a Township trustee.
Yes.
Good morning, how are you today?
Hey, Tim.
Sam Norris, was a Township trustee. How? Nice to see you. Good to see you.
Hey.
Good
Nice
morning.
to see you, good Township trustee. How you doing?
I wondered where Joe's seat was
Two out
gonna
of
be.
three.
I'll take the soft seat, Ron.
I'll take one of your seats.
No, sorry, I meant to say I take the
Yeah.
hard seat as I'm pulling it out, sorry.
Good morning, John.
Well, good morning. We welcome you from Pleasant Township today.
Thank you.
Nice to be here. Just to let you also know as common courtesy is that today we do have representatives from the press and that the meeting itself is taped and will be broadcast over the internet. So just wanted to let you know that. Okay, it's your meeting.
Thank you. So did you receive our ask?
You know, we received your resolution.
Okay. Now, what else do we need to do with that?
You're sitting there. Well, just explain to us why, I mean,
Yeah,
just,
let's
you know,
let's review it real quick. How long's ago since we got it? You,
Since we have the signed version, yes.
again, want to just take a quick look at it. Just in a couple of weeks.
have you had a lot of outcry from your residents?
I'll speak for myself and then the other two can speak, but, again, Ron Rogers, Pleasant Township trustee, for those that are watching or from the newspaper. But I have received a lot of calls from farmers, and they have been very, very loud on this topic, so that's who I've received mine with. And they've all been phone calls and in person.
Yes.
From different residents within the township,
Yes.
to the extent that you feel.
It's been passionate enough that we've felt like we needed to look into it, research it highly around the county, see what other trustees are doing, see what, other community members were thinking. And we felt like it was up to us that we needed to step forward.
So, our township is zoned, and we have started, we're like almost a year in, if not a year, of reevaluating all of our zoning, to update it. And so that also includes the renewable energy, because that's not in our zoning at all. So that's being considered, by our zoning commission, but they're looking at the whole, zoning book for us.
Do you have any questions of us?
I don't believe so.
What we normally do, if I may, I'll speak.
Yes, please, because, we're new at this.
Okay, what we'll do, what we have to do is do our research as far as who your taxing districts are. We have to send letters to them, and you guys will be getting a letter because you're part of the taxing district. And once we get everything done, letters sent out, we have to have a map drawn up with the resolution. Then we post it, it's 30 plus days from the time we post it in the libraries.
Yep.
All libraries in Hardin County. Then we'll set a date as far as to consider your resolution to vote on. So it takes a little bit of time, as far as the process for us, but it's not overwhelming. lately, so.
I would imagine that from today, it would probably take a couple of weeks before we get all of our documentation put together. And that we would probably then be doing the postings in the library. We would send out the information in the mail to the school districts, et cetera. And letting the townships know, and the paper know. And so within a couple of weeks, I would say, and I don't, I can't tell you a definite date, but within a couple of weeks, we should have that completed. And that once we get everything done and completed, we would indicate on the postings the date of our pending meeting in which this would be discussed and a decision would be made. And so we will post that accordingly.
And I won't speak for all three of us, but I will say this, as a township trustee, one of the things that we looked at very closely was property ownership. We balanced property ownership with this decision, with the phone calls that we received, and those folks that aren't, that may not know the ins and outs of government or the thoughts that go into all of this, may only see just a little speck of what's going on. But the bigger picture is that Pleasant Township borders the city of Kenton. And when you're looking at this big of renewed energy type of things, because this is 50 and larger, something like this could close off Kenton's growth. And that's another big aspect that of consideration, I think, that people don't always realize, is that being that close to a city, that it's not just about small, it's bigger than some of us. It's bigger.
Future.
Yes, I like that. Did you make that word up, or is that a real word?
Future?
Oh, future, I think you said huger.
Future's a real.
Future, okay, yeah, future, yeah, we have to look into the future, and we have to look into the future 50 years or so.
Yeah, and our township encompasses, east, west, and north of Kenton, so any kind of growth for those three areas is certainly a consideration of ours.
Senate Bill 52 gives us the authority to close or open, or it could be closed and opened later if we choose. But I don't think we have any jurisdiction over any incorporated areas of Pleasant Township. So that is something on the maps that go out that we would have to, we can't tell the city of Kenton
Right.
whether they want it closed. So just to let you know, the maps will probably show that city limits are.
And we can't either.
Yeah, I know. So just to be clear, we're not closing off, or you're not requesting that
Right.
anything inside of the city limits
Right.
or the corporations, because it's very specific. that
It's
they-
basically the unincorporated.
Yeah.
Yep, unincorporated portion.
And Buck and Pleasant are the only townships that have that incorporated city inside of it. So, but most of the other townships, it doesn't restrict from villages or anything like that. So just to bring it up for the record is we can't make a decision either way to close or keep open anything inside the corporation.
So for the record, you're basically asking for the ability to designate all or part of the unincorporated area of the county of your township as restricted area. Okay, you're on record with that.
Yes, Fred, that's what we're asking, thank you.
Anything else?
So are you, any questions concerning the due diligence that we have to do and the timing of when we're getting things put out or anything?
No, we've kind of followed what you've done with the other townships. It seems like you guys have this down pretty good. It seems like the system works. We don't have any concerns that I know of.
The prosecutor has been very helpful in issuing a timeline for
Guidance
all
and
of us.
timelines.
Well, we try to do things in a
Proper.
fashion and in a proper manner.
Yeah.
And so that's how we will approach this one too.
Anything else from us, please let us know, reach out.
Thank you, Ted.
Yes. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
Sam?
Thank you.
Yeah, good seeing you.
Thank you, sir. You'll see it pretty soon, Darrell.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Ron? See ya.
He's gone.
Thank you.
I'm always quick to ask a
I guess you are.
Thank you. What is your title? Trustee? Okay. Just making sure. I have no doubt with three trustees.
RDG.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Make sure, I'll send you a draft. You can spell check it for me. Thanks a lot.
And get this in there. And for, I'm actually.
how are you this morning?
Morning.
Good, how are you, Fred?
Good.
Just as common courtesy, of course, we have the press here today, and then we're also going to, the meeting will be on tape.
Just here for my update, don't really have much more of an update from last month. We did have our board meeting, the board is still working on a DON position, Director of Nursing. We are right now working on if we are going to contract or hire. We went through legal to see, if we legally can contract. We're hoping to get that filled once, like, we kind of figure out which would be the best route for us.
When would that be effective?
Well, at our board meeting, they would have to decide if, right now it's looking like we're going to need to hire, because of the ORC. So they're probably gonna look to hire, it would just be, when we can advertise and how long it takes to get that position filled.
And again, you have the funding provided for that.
We are looking into that, trying to make sure we have the funding, making sure that, we don't rely too heavily on workforce grants. So we have been, looking at the finances, our finance committee is.
I know, from the last meeting, I could see that you had a good analysis of what the finances looked like.
Yeah.
What did the finances look like for the month of January?
I printed it out and I forgot to grab it. Our ending balance, I believe, was like 197 for the general.
187.
197.
Which was, if I remember correctly, pretty close to same as what it was in December too.
At the end of December, it was 176.
Okay. So pretty close.
Yeah, we've been watching it, having low staff, and not having all the staff parties has helped, and we're really trying to capitalize on as much savings as we can with that. We are working on the revised 2025 budget. We have presented one at the board meeting, but they decided, to hold on that and have the finance committee relook at it, trying to make sure that we're not going too heavy on workforce grant funds, especially with salaries. And then we're also working on our 2026 budget, which we will present for the DAC. So we're hoping to have both the 2025 and 2026 for our February meeting, which will be February 25th.
From today?
The 25th.
Oh, is it February 25th? Okay,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
The township meeting is the all township meeting that we're attending. It's a week from today.
Now, at that meeting, how will that work as far as presenting information?
I'm still working on that with the board. We have a meeting, I have a meeting with Marty today, and we're working on, the presentation for that. And we're also working on our annual reports.
So the meeting a week from today, we have an important meeting,
Yes,
every important meeting.
yeah.
What was your suggestions on the week from today meeting?
Just, have your ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Which I know you will, you're working diligently, so.
We're working on, presenting, and then, we did contract with, Jim Watkins, very short term, we've got the contract signed. The contract right now is through April 2nd. He's planning on working just 10 hours a week. He is coming in tomorrow to help us prepare for our meeting with the township trustees.
What county is he from?
Williams.
Hmm?
Williams
Williams,
County.
that's right. 10 hours a week,
Yes.
and that equates to how much?
I think overall it's 6,000, which I'm working on getting that on a workforce grant, which something with a workforce grant with that one, that would cover the 6,000, but it's not like a salary that once the workforce grant ends, that we're gonna have to cover. Yeah. But it will help give the board and our department guidance. He has faced a similar situation, where when he went into, his county or started his career as health commissioner, the county that he was health commissioner at was like 2 months away from bankruptcy, and he was able to turn it around. So,
So have you started working with him now?
he comes in tomorrow.
He
We
comes
did
in
have an
tomorrow.
initial call on Tuesday, but he's coming in tomorrow. I've already sent him several of our finances and already, discussed the important township meeting and, some of my concerns and how to present. And he's, already helping me, and the
So,
goal is tomorrow to have.
In essence,
it.
you're having his contract start tomorrow,
His contract started Monday,
Monday, this week,
Yeah.
okay? And it goes till what date?
April 2nd, but there is a clause in there that if the board wants to cancel it sooner, we can do that with a 14-day notice.
Okay.
And the contract was made up by the prosecutor's office.
And that's for 6, you say? Dollar. Good, good. I know that in listening to him, and I knew he addressed the board on one of the board meetings, that it sounds like there's some things that he can do that will benefit our board and the health board an awful lot. So hopefully that all, it becomes a win-win situation for everybody. Good. Yeah.
That's all I have, unless you guys have some questions.
How about, manning wise, have you picked anybody up or has anybody left since the last time?
Nobody has left, knock on wood, and, we have, not been able to pick anybody up. Right now, our main focus is figuring out the DON position, and then seeing what our finances look for after that, and seeing what is the greatest need for hiring. And if we can sustain ourselves with 7 staff, or if, we need to add an additional.
Mhm.
And that's one thing that we're looking towards, Jim's expertise too, as far as rebuilding programs and rebuilding, the staff on how to do that in a fiscally smart way.
Good. So in other words, pretty much everything's going status quo. You're able to do things, at least the basics that are
Right.
needed to be
Yes.
done. And then we'll see what happens then next Thursday.
Yeah,
Is that 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, when's the meeting?
I don't-
6:30, I thought.
6:30, I was gonna say I thought 6:30.
Okay.
Is that safety center?
Yes.
Safety center, 6:30, okay.
Dion, we appreciate everything you've done.
Oh, thank you.
We do.
Yes. Thanks for hanging in there.
In all honesty, I know from one of the meetings that you have a lot of things you're trying to balance. And you're doing a wonderful job in doing that. And we recognize the fact that you've got an awful lot going on. Hang in there,
Thank you.
keep going.
Alright, and I'll see you guys probably next week at the meeting and then next month.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Have a good day, thank you.
Thank you.
The next meeting, is that the township meeting or is that just a regular?
The all township meeting next Thursday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep,
Thank you, Dion. Appreciate it.
papers.
That's what we were worried about.
And then I need to speak with both of you afterwards. So, you need my glasses? Your signatures? The purpose?
Yeah.
Well, that's when it went into the thing, that's how it went. Sorry, I'll try to do better next time.
Hale zoned?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Fred, how are you?
Good.
Good,
Let me take a couple minutes to read this one.
absolutely. It will probably look very familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it does. Tori, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Joe, start a little bit early. If it's okay with you folks, we'll start just a little bit early. Go right ahead. Welcome.
Well, we just, brought a resolution to you guys to, stop any 50 megawatt and over, construction of solar panels on township.
So, tell us a little bit about your decision making on Hale Township and to do what you're wanting to do.
Basically, we've seen in Union County what it's done down there, cause we border Union County, and there is, a lot of truck traffic that, you know, I'm not sure our roads can handle for sure. The other thing is, we are basically a agricultural intensive township, and really hate to see any of this ground get, go to solar when it should be producing crops, so.
So did you survey your constituents to see what their feelings like?
Several people, yes. We probably, to do it right, we probably should have did some signatures, but we didn't. But everyone that, you know, most of the people we talked to were definitely not in favor of it.
So you have a good feeling that you're representing the township as a whole and what they're
Yeah.
wanting to see?
Yeah.
Okay. So, it looks like, let's see, we have this today. It was, I'll get this stamped when I get time, but if you brought it to us here on the 6th of February, and for the record, why you are requesting that Hardin County Commissioners declare Hale Township as a restricted zone for the utility of solar and or wind energy projects. So you're on record with that, with this resolution. So we will take this, and as you know, or you may know, may not know, what we do is we'll take these resolutions. We have this one, and we have another resolution for another township. And, we will work with those two resolutions. We'll gather, do the due diligence that we need to do as commissioners, and, put forward the proper information to the public. We have to do that in a form of, submitting to the library, posting on libraries, and there are 6 public libraries in Hardin County. And we'll post the information basically that states what it is that is to be done. We'll have a map of Hale Township accompanying it that will show the area that we're talking about. And then on that particular information, we will identify a particular date in which the commissioners will have a meeting during a regular scheduled meeting during their pending portion to discuss this particular resolution. So that will all be part of what is posted on the bulletin boards of the libraries. It will be also sent to the townships, should be all the townships, and then also to, I think, letters are sent to the school district, and then we'll have a publication in the newspaper. And all that due diligence will be done at that time. Once that's completed, then we have a minimum of 30 days to then take action. So we will work upon that accordingly. Anything to add, guys?
The only thing is, Mount Victory, is it part of Hale?
Yes.
Okay, we don't have any jurisdiction over incorporated areas, so everything that's unincorporated is what we will be posting on.
Right. Probably what we'll do is we'll have the map, GIS will draw up the map for us. We'll have that area of Mount Victory designated in color that can be identified on the legend of the map to say this is not part of the.
You'll have part of Ridgeway.
Yes, it's not part of the.
I couldn't remember where the demarcation lines was for anything, so.
So we'll do that, and we'll move forward with that, and post it accordingly, and then act upon it, and, you know, we'll do our due diligence, but then in the same sense, we won't waste too much time.
Right.
Keep on that.
Sounds good.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Pat.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fred.
Thank you.
Thank you. Away. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
Here's a copy of that for your reference. Thank you. And you want me to put you guys a picture? Okay, thank you. So make sure I got you right in the minutes. And I know you're a senior, just because we're out, check out. Thank you. Not much I didn't know.
Could you have Tori come in a second?
And that's upgrading person lights to LED, so we will save on cost overall.
Fred, Tim, that's everything on the agenda today.
Is that everything complete?
Yep.
So, Tim, looks like we're set for today. Thank you, Tori.
You're welcome.